we're in the middle of coming out of a recession. Some people, because I'm on Fox Business Network, we have people on every day saying, guess what, we're going to have what's called a double dip. So here was March 9th and September of '08, we had real problems, financial crisis, and then we've come climbing back, but then something may derail the whole thing and we may go down again. People have changed their behavior. I call it the upside down shampoo bottle theory now, because people are, just to get that last quarter of shampoo out of the bottle, now changing their behavior and turning it upside down. With that skepticism of, sure, I'm going to spend more than $100 on anything anymore, are you finding that people are still taking what discretionary income they have and spending it on technology?
Definitely. I think, the one thing about the recession is that a lot of people started staying home more. Weren't going out for dinner, maybe not going to the movies. People are playing games as a family at home on their Xbox rather than maybe a game night. They're using their cell phones and getting rid of landlines and saving money that way. They're saving on long-distance calling. And people are attached to their technology. It is not going anywhere. I think, the recent Christmas season has shown us, I think everyone in my family has now gotten a Wii at home. And they're enjoying its families, and we're playing it together. We played the Wii on Christmas Day. So I think that people are cutting back in other areas. They're cutting back where they can. They're clipping coupons, but they're still making those big purchases.
I want to open the floor to questions, and no matter what it is that you think might be kind of off kilter or whatever on a tangent, go ahead, ask it, and we'll see if our panelists can answer it. So just go ahead and raise your hand, and if you could just say your name and what your affiliation is. Go ahead.
It's $179.99 for the watch, and then the service plan is $9.99 a month.
What retailers carry it?
It's currently on the .com retailers, Amazon, Sears, Best Buy, Walmart.
Do you have your own website as well?
We do indeed. I mean, we actually launched the US version of the product only yesterday at CES, so we're at the early stage of rollout into the US.
So is it global? Like if we take a family trip somewhere else, does it?
It absolutely is. I mean, anywhere there's a mobile phone network, you can take it.
Good. I like that. Anybody? I'm fascinated also by the vacuum, because I look at that and I say, time is money. Time is so valuable, right, Max? And if you're taking an hour to vacuum your house when you could actually be taking your kid to the library or to the violin or hockey games or whatever, I mean, then that's all done. Yeah. And I'm not a cleaner.
Yeah, no,
I'm not the one who's ever cleaning. So
it's a true appliance. I mean, it really frees you from this chore. I just want to clarify something on the video. The rendering of the laser is not visible, so it doesn't shoot laser out of the robot. I just want to make sure it's not R2D2. This is an infrared laser, so it's invisible. It's not harmful at all. But yeah, it does free you, and it does allow you to go about your day, and it does ensure that you have a clean floor. And it is an all-floor cleaner. It does hardwood, it does carpet, it does deep carpet, it does tiles. It goes everywhere. It has stair sensors, as you saw. But when we were developing the product, we really wanted to develop something that's useful. And my challenge to the team was, I don't care about all this gadgetry. This is not a gadget. It has to really clean. If it doesn't clean, no one's going to buy it. So that was the first order. It has to really clean, and that was so we put a very, very strong vacuum there. And then we built the technology around this very strong cleaning engine.
Well, I like that you're calling it an appliance versus a gadget.
It's not a gadget.
I think that's interesting. Next, yes.
Chris Knight with Neato, and this is for Christy. I'm just curious. I was looking at the Panasonic booth. What's your take on that 3D TV? Do you think we're going to use it? A little automated.
Okay, my personal opinion, as I sat through press conference after press conference where they said, woo, it's 3D. And I just kept thinking, have consumers been asking for 3D TV, or is it just that companies are looking for the next thing? And I don't know. I mean, I could throw that right back at the audience. How many people are really super excited to get a 3D TV? One. Okay, so, that's how I feel. I mean, it's cool, but I don't want to wear special glasses while I'm watching. Yeah.
It's interesting because we just had an interview yesterday with Jeffrey Katzenberg of DreamWorks Animation. And he broke some news on Fox Business where I said, look, you're striking the Samsung deal with 3D TV, and don't let anybody tell you anything different. 3D home television was the talk of the Consumer Electronics Show. E-reader's a close second, but I said to him, so, okay, right, we know you're already from this day forward making all of your movies in 3D. So they've got a movie coming out called How to Train Your Dragon. I've seen some clips from it. It's amazing. It's like you're sitting on the back of the dragon flying. They've got Shrek 4 coming out in 3D. Could very well be the first billion-dollar animated movie. And I said, okay, but you were already going in that direction. What does this change for you? And he said, well, we haven't really announced it, but let me be the first to say that we're going to retrofit or retro-produce Shreks 1, 2, and 3 in 3D. Awesome. I mean, I stopped it. Well, okay, we just broke news. Whoop-de-doo. You know, I'm on the Twitter immediately. First on Fox Business, whatever. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, Shrek. How many times have our kids watched Shrek 1? And if that suddenly came out in 3D, and that 3D experience, which we saw with the Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus concert, and Journey to the Center of the Earth, not to mention Avatar, which Jeffrey Katzenberg absolutely feels is a huge game changer. I'm just wondering, yes, only one person raised their hand, but sometimes we're all about not knowing what we really want and then almost being told what we want. Not that that's a good thing, but I bet you 3D in 5 years 3D TVs are in almost everybody's homes.
Well, once everybody starts saying, oh, you must have a 3D TV, then sure. I think some of the sports fans are excited. I don't know. I actually don't know how that sport experience will be in 3D. It might actually.
ESPN is
3D gives me a
channel.
headache, quite honestly. So I'm not really the best person to ask. But, I think a lot of people are going to be on board. But some of those 3D experiences you're talking about are the big moments. And how many movies are you watching every day? You're watching maybe regular TV. A lot of people have shifted to watching on their laptops. I don't know. It will be interesting to see where it goes.
When you're looking at consumer electronics for the family, Steve, broadening the aperture, obviously this is for children right now, but I think you were very smart in giving it a name that isn't necessarily just a kid-centric name, because me as a journalist, we've got a lot of journalists overseas covering wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, journalists should be wearing these things. Are you thinking about shifting the marketing or at least, as I say, broadening that aperture?
We're a very application-centric business, so we identify a need in the market and what the risks are around that market, and then build a solution around it. We actually have a product that we announced at CES yesterday, a product called Multimate. And what that is an adult at-risk product. It uses exactly the same technology as NewMate, but it has a panic button on it. We actually designed the panic button out of NewMate because we didn't want children in the playground doing this and saying, look, here come mommy and daddy.
Blasting everybody's ears out.
But on the adult product, a panic button is very important. We don't need the bracelet compromise on the adult product, so we've used a conventional wrist strap off a watch. Two reasons for doing that, and we're finding that older people have less nimble fingers, and there's a big demand for dementia sufferers to have a locating type watch, because the early onset of dementia is the desire to wander. They wander, they don't have familiar surroundings, they suddenly get lost. So on the Multimate watch, we have a conventional wrist strap, we have a panic button, and also we have an LCD screen where once you've hit the panic button, we actually send a reassuring message back to the adult saying, hey, look, we've got your message, we're now coming to get you.
Brilliant. Max, are you looking at taking the technology that's in the Neato and putting it in other appliances? What's that next step? I'm not going to tell you, Liz, because we're not ready to announce that. Look, I pushed Jeff Katzenberg to make an announcement he wasn't ready to do.
Okay. Well, we are talking about outdoor products, and there are products that make a lot of sense in the grass area.
My husband will love you.
Okay.
Not that kind of grass.
More questions. Please don't be shy. Anything. And remember, Christy, of course, covers every single gadget that comes out there on the market. So they want
That's
her
not entirely
website.
true.
Yeah, almost
Quite a
everyone.
few, but
I'm sure they want to get your attention.